Today I'm going to show you how to crochet this beautiful braided double wrap infinity scarf, as well as a unique way to braid using only a single strand. I used a bulky weight yarn and a 6.5mm hook, but you can use any yarn and hook size as long as your starting chain is 175 inches or 4.5 meters long. I know that's kind of hard to measure, so you can also measure how many chains you have in 44 inches. Multiply that number by 4, and that's the number of starting chains you'll need. Once you have your super long chain, you can use any stitch pattern you like. I did a row of half double crochets by yarning over, inserting my hook into the chain to pull up a loop, and yarning over again to pull through all 3 loops on my hook. Then I continued making half double crochets for every chain of my foundation chain. For the next row and all following rows, I wanted to work into the back loops rather than the stitch as normal. By working into the back loops only of the stitch, I got this ribbed texture that you see in the finished scarf. And simply work in rows until your piece measures 2.5 to 3 inches wide, or about 7 centimeters. Then you'll take your long piece of crochet and lay it out so that you have 3 equal length sides. Using 2 of the sides, create a big loop. And take the little straggler side and bring it down the center of the loop, under and out the bottom. Then kind of separate your loop to one side and crisscross the 2 strands of your loop like so. And keep the loop open. I made sure to crisscross right over left. Then take the little straggler strand and bring it over one side of the loop and under the other side of the loop, untwisting your pieces as you go. Then this time I cross my loop left over right, and again over and under with the other strand. I'm continuing like that, crisscrossing my loop and bringing the other strand over and under. And I'm making sure not to let the strand wrap around like this. I want to keep the same side facing up the whole time. I got a little twist at the end in my loop, but we'll fix that in a minute. So that's the single strand braid. Now I'll show you how to fix the ends in place and seam it into an infinity scarf. Even just transporting my braid over here, I got some loose parts and some tight parts, so I'm going to show you how I play around with it to get the braid to lay right. And then I just sort of re-braided the top part of the braid a little bit. Now all you have to do, using a little extra bit of yarn, or the yarn tail, is seam the straggler end to the loop. This won't be exact because you're not working stitch for stitch or anything, but just make sure the 2 edges are secure. I'm going to go ahead and do that on the other side. And you can see here I got a little twist in my braid, so I'm going to fix that. And then to address the twist in my loop at the end, I'm going to undo it and try crisscrossing the other way. This is also the last chance to play around with the braid and make sure the tightness is even throughout the scarf. Now I just have to seam the other end down. You can weave in your ends now and have a lovely straight scarf. I bet this would look killer with some pom-poms or tassels on each end. But to seam it into an infinity scarf, you can simply gather your ends together and slip stitch together any edge loops that you see. This was about 7 or 8 slip stitches for me. And now it's an infinity scarf. You can figure eight it and make it a double wrap cowl as well. And there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and trying out the single strand braid. You can get your free copy of this pattern on my blog. I'll have that link down below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!